Hello, hello, friends. Happy Friday. It is the weekend. I'm super excited to share these with you. It is absolutely insane. We have had 28 sales on eBay over the last 2 weeks, over $50. That is not including our Etsy sales. That is not including our Poshmark sales. There are not a ton of those, but there are some. So this video is going to be exclusively high dollar selling items that I've sold myself. I am going to tell you where I got it. I'm going to tell you how much I paid and how long it took to sell. So if you're trying to raise your average sales price, this is an excellent video for you. I do these twice a month and I exclude them because I know a lot of people really want to hit that higher dollar sales point. And a lot of my concentration lately has been on picking up these items that are worth $50 or more. You know, your time is valuable. So if you can make more money, why not? I still love buying online estate lots, though, can't lie. And I still do those bread and butter items as well. But these sales are what make up excellent days. I shared with you on Wednesday, we have had a $5,000 week for the first time in a very long time. And these sales are exactly what makes that happen. We are starting off over on Etsy. This is a vintage rhinestone duet dress clip. If you do not know duets, they are amazing. They come apart. They can be two brooches or a single one. This one is a branded Coro one, and I accepted a best offer of $55 on this one. I had it priced at $60. The buyer messaged me, asked if I'd take $45. I let them know it had not been listed even a month, so I really wanted to get $55. They said okay, they would take it. And here you can see it has the patent pending there. The Coro is on the individual clips, and unfortunately my employee didn't know how this comes apart, so that did not get photographed, but it does come into 3 pieces, and this was an excellent fast sale. The second sale on Etsy is this Krusty the Clown Simpsons talking doll. And I just want to address, because I get asked a lot in my podcast, if we price higher on Etsy and Poshmark. We do not. We keep our price the same across all platforms. It just got a little too complicated trying to change the prices. So I picked this up for only $5. And this one sold in under 2 weeks, sold for $89.99, and I paid $5 for it. So it is a $68 profit. And anything that is over 20 years can go on Etsy. I believe this one was a 90s. I don't see the date on it. Most of them I had were 90s. I'm trying to see. So originally this was $39.99, still in the box. Again, I got quite a few Krusty the Clown and Simpsons pieces for only $5. This was an excellent profit and it sold very, very fast. This Ralph Lauren teddy bear comforter sold very, very fast. You can see I put Reed, and this one I picked up at the thrift store, at a church thrift store, for only $5. It actually had a really big rip, and my mom was nice enough to repair it for me. So we did put Reed. We did notate that it had been fixed, and it still sold for $56, making it a $39 profit under a month. Watch for Ralph Lauren stuff, especially with the teddy bears. There are sweaters with teddy bears that sell for hundreds. Here is the Ralph Lauren tag. It was a twin size, and you can see there were also a couple of stains on it. And here you can see where my mom repaired it. She actually had to hand repair it for me. So special thanks to my mom for sewing this. And it was an excellent, excellent profit. Poshmark was hopping there for a couple of days and it was beating eBay. It was absolutely crazy. So this vintage pair of lumbar sterling silver with 14 karat accent earrings sold for $160. The payout was $128. I got these in a sterling silver lot and only paid $5. They are over $120 profit and they sold in only a week. So make sure that you are paying attention. Here you can see Lombard. The signature is easy to read, sterling and 14 karat. So it had 14 karat accents, and very, very fast sale and an excellent profit on these earrings. This vintage Mallard stained glass oval panel, I did not expect to sell on Poshmark, but it did, and it sold fast, and it had damage. You can see I put C. I got this, I believe it was on a half off day. So it was priced $20. I paid $10. and the payout was 84. So close to $75 profit in under a month on this one. Beautiful piece. I love picking up duck and mallard stuff. You can see here it does have a crack. It was not all the way through, so it's not overly noticeable when you look at the total piece. This was big though. It was 16 inches by 20 inches. And I saw this at the thrift store and I knew that it would be an excellent sale. I didn't catch the crack on it though at that time, but I still made a pretty good profit. Next up and last for Poshmark before we move over to eBay is this pair of new tag St. John's wool blend dress pants. So the MSRP on these was $400. I sold them for $104. Payout was $83. I paid $20 for these in an online auction. So they are a $63 profit. These took over a year. So they took a while to sell. With my St. John stuff, I had some sell very, very fast, and then others like this took over a year. But because of the higher dollar value, I was in the profit on these pretty fast, which is the main thing I look for when I buy those big lots. Over on eBay, first up, this is a Chimayo native wool rug. It was 28 by 59. I accepted best offer of 50 because it was a slower sales day and I only had $5 into this piece. So I got a $50 offer. I said, you know what, I'm taking it. It's a $36 profit. I did get this off of an online auction and I buy rug and blanket lots all the time. So you can see it does have some staining on it. There you can see the size, and it sold in 3 months, so it really did not take very long. This is a really, really neat piece, and it sold in 2 months for full price at $60. And I picked this one up in an online estate lot. I had to research it to figure out what the heck it was. So it is a sterling grouse claw brooch. They also used it on kilts, and it also had the amber stone, and you can see the stag. So this is a good luck stag. And this one's a $44 profit. Took 2 months to sell. So not overly long on this one. This one's definitely different. If you see stuff that looks different, definitely pay attention to it. Another fast sale, and this one is actually gold filled. I've been doing better with gold filled and gold plated lately, maybe because the price of gold is coming up. And this one, I believe, was actually sterling underneath the gold plating. So this one I got in a sterling lot. It was only $5, making it a $46 profit in right around 2.5 months. And here you can see the whole one. You can also see I chose to display it up close. You have to think that most people are looking on their phones. So with that being said, I try and zoom in because if I had that necklace all the way out, it would have been a lot harder to see the colors of the beads. And so I chose to zoomed in one for my front picture. This piece is really, really cool, and it sold in a day. Very, very fast. It is a Bovano Pelican. So I get a lot of Bovano brooches and little trinket dishes, but I haven't had a wall one until now. So I saw one of these had sold, I think, for $69.99. I priced it at $79.99, got an offer in a day for $70 and said, you know what, I'm taking it. I am only $5 into this thing. Again, I'm trying to see sales, so I'm being a little more lenient on my offers. This one is a $52 profit in a day. So who's going to complain about making 50 bucks in a day off a $5 buy? Excellent, excellent sale, and a really, really beautiful, more rare Bovano wall piece. This garnet bracelet took 3 months to sell. I accepted best offer of $71.99 on it. I paid $5 for this one. Again, that is typically my buy cost on majority of my sterling, just regular pieces. So this one's a $53 profit. 3 months to sell, not too bad. I've been doing very well with garnet, so I would definitely keep an eye out for that. Here you can see it is 16 grams. So if I had bought this wholesale at like the antique fairs, I would have been about $30 into it instead of $5. So when I hand pick, I try to be a little more selective. But when I buy those big lots, I get great deals just like this one. Next up is this Johnson Brothers Rose Chintz round covered vegetable serving bowl. I accepted a best offer of 70. Again, a lot of these were earlier sales in the day. I wanted to kick other sales into gear. I only paid 5 for this one. So even accepting that lower offer, I still made a $50 profit. Check the Johnson Brothers serving pieces, especially the chintz floral ones. I've done very well with them. And this one's a 10-inch. Here you can see the rose chintz on the bottom. And I've done well with Johnson Brothers, primarily serving pieces. Some of the plates can do okay depending on the pattern, but the more valuable pieces are typically going to be your serving ones. This is another one I kind of bent on what I wanted. This one sold for $75, and it was getting ready to flip to 3 months, in which case I would have took 70. So I was okay taking 75. I only paid 5. So this one's a $56 profit. I love this piece. So this is Frank Lee. It is enamel on copper, and I have only, except for this, found enamel on copper trinket dishes and brooches. I've never seen these. So if you ever see the enamel on copper sculptures like this, definitely, if they're a good price, I would pick them up. This cute little whimsy trinket box, or even like a miniature purse. This is from the 1900s. It is from the Iroquois, and I've had a few of these. I can never really find them cheap. I believe I paid 25 for this one. So it's a $40 profit, but it sold in 2 months. So relatively fast. The other Iroquois pieces I had took over a year. So happy with how quick it sold. But these are pieces I absolutely love finding. I love picking them up. I'm willing to pay up for them because I can display them until they sell. This sterling silver bracelet is a heart link. This was unbranded. I love when the unbranded sell fast. This one sold for $80. I paid 10 for this one, so I did pay a little bit more. Sometimes when I get only bracelet lots, I do have to go up to that $10 mark for like the tennis bracelets. And so this one is a $56 profit, and it did not take too long. There you can see the 925 stamp. Almost 13 grams on this one. So this one would have been about 26. This is one I would have picked up if I was at the antique fair because it still would have been a very, very good profit. Very, very fast sale on this Tiffany & Co. porcelain jewelry box. This one sold for 80. I actually paid too much for this one. I paid 50. So this one is only a $20 profit, and I have a larger one, but I just paid way too much for them. And unfortunately, that happens. You know, when I'm bidding on online auctions, sometimes I get carried away. I think it happens to the best of us. This one sold very fast, though. It sold in under a week, and at least I made a profit. I didn't lose money, so I am happy with that. But I do try to comp good. Unfortunately, sometimes I am just not perfect. Next up is a Ralph Lauren. If you do not know, pay attention to Ralph Lauren sweaters. I think I said it earlier when we talked about the Ralph Lauren comforter with the bear. Sweaters with or without bears do well. This one is a cable knit cardigan. I did put equestrian buckles. This one sold for full price of $80 in under 2 months. I only paid $5 for this one. So this one is going to be a $60 profit. I love finding Ralph Lauren, especially in online estate lots where I'm getting a lot of Ralph Lauren and I have a low buy cost in. Those are some of my favorite lots to find. This one I kind of gave in on a slow sales day. This is a vintage Glidden mid-century modern pottery teal covered greenfish. I accepted $80 when it only been listed for 3 months. I paid 20 for it, so I did pay up, but I am still making a $48 profit. It was a slow sales day. The buyer kept on and kept on. I just gave in, which I don't do often. So this is a really, really cool piece. I did pay up for it. Again, I paid 20 for it. You can see the Glidden 412. It really was worth over that $100 point. So I could have held on to it, but I'm trying to get into my head more. I really would like to move more inventory fast versus holding on to it for a longer period. Speaking of longer period, this one took a year and a half to sell. This is a Swarovski gold crystal butterfly. I sold it for 81. I believe I had it at like 140 and put it on sale, sold for 81. I paid 20. So this one is a $48 profit as well. And here you can see beautiful, beautiful Swarovski frame. It was not sterling silver or anything. It was small, 4x6. And so I'm happy with the $80, but I didn't get as much as I thought I would, and it took a long time to sell. Next up is another Swarovski item. Surprise, surprise, but this one sold in under 2 weeks. This is a crystal dragon. It sold for 85. I paid 15, so it's a $56 profit. Really, really fast. Beautiful red eyes. I've actually sold this dragon figure, I want to say 3 or 4 times over the years. I do find quite a few of these. This piece took almost 3 years to sell, and it absolutely broke my heart when I got this. So I bought this in an online auction. It was shipped to me and it came in pieces. So I spent the time and glued it back together. And I'll show you my repair work. You can see I did put repaired in the title. I got an offer of $80. I think I only originally paid 10, so it's still over a $50 profit. But I think that repaired thing just made it be a slower sale. So here you can see it was signed. It was a hand-painted Kachina by Mickey Musgrove in Pine, Arizona. And he was a Hopi. It's hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in here. You can see some of the cracks here. I repaired this thing pretty darn good. It was like a puzzle to me, but I wanted to make sure that people knew that I had repaired it. I didn't want to kind of sneak that in on them. Next up was another fast sale. This one sold in under a month. Another one I took a little lower. I took a $100 offer, but I paid 30. So this one's still $56 profit. Again, moving stuff fast versus holding on to it, being stubborn, you got to look at it. This is 34 grams, very, very heavy turquoise necklace. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And I took $50 off, but I made a $56 profit. These Hallmark locomotive set took a year to sell, exactly a year. Had it on a 40% off offer. It sold for $100. I was not offended at $5 less. They were happy with the $100. I believe I originally paid 20 for these. So these are a $64 profit, but again, they took a year. But look at this. Originally, this had a $195 price tag. So these were more expensive where they were at prior to me obtaining them off an online estate sale. I think the $195 might have been referring to the set, but possibly not. I do comp decently again, but I was happy to get that $100 after having these for a year. This sale was really cool because I got this for free. This is a vintage Western Germany triptych pressed paper cardboard Christmas nativity scene. I accepted best offer of 105 because I got it for free. So it's an $85 profit and it sold in 3 months. So watch for your religious items, watch for nativity. If you didn't see my nativity video I did not long ago, definitely go check that one out. This one is 18 inches, so it's longer, but this was an excellent sale and I got it for free in a house clean out that I did after they had run an estate sale. This was a very, very fast sale. This one sold in under a week. This is a Bandor, the Beatles Trendsetters limited edition premier cookie jar. I got a big Beatles lot, about $10 in per piece. So this one is a $64 profit in under a week. If you like Beatles stuff, I did list quite a few. This was limited to 3,600 pieces. You can see here it was $11.73. It's from 2002, so it is a vintage piece. Excellent condition. I do not believe this was ever used. And it was a really, really great sale and very, very fast. Next up is one of my Kachina dolls. This is a Hopi Kachina. It's black ogre, but it had the little mini mud head. It was super cute. This had human hair. It was a little bit creepy. I accepted a best offer of $130. I was about $30 in. It's an $80 profit. It took 3 years to sell, but I display my Kachinas on my desk. So I'm okay with waiting for them. But this was a really neat one with the two. You can see the Black Ogre, it was signed as well. Had a couple of defects here and we did have to repair it. So we were zooming and showing that. You can see the arm here as well. And I did put C in my title because this thing had extensive repairs and still sold for $130. Next up was a full price sale. And I think I got these at a garage sale, but these were here over 3 years. Only a few dollars in though. I probably would pick these up again. These are gorgeous Bird Limoges France plates and they sold for $140. They, like I said, I paid like $2 for these things. So they, even though they took 3 years, they're over $100 profit. I do have the space. So I don't pay for storage units. I have multiple sheds on my property. I have quite a few acres for those of you that don't know. So holding on to things like this for that long to make $100 profit, I am okay with. Next up, this ring sold very, very fast. And this is a vintage carved jade stone cameo ring. I put this on auction last week for $99, got no bids. So I relisted it, buy it now for $199. I got a best offer of $150. I was only $5 in. And I have just never seen anything like this. It did have some damage. So I just priced where I thought I should. $116 profit. Beautiful piece, but some of the stone was chipped. I don't know if that was from them making it. And we think this might have been real gold here, these lines, but there was no way to scratch test that, unfortunately. So I sent these pictures to my good friend George the Antique Nomad, and he said it was older. He had never seen anything like it either. So I just priced high, got that $150 offer real fast, and was happy with that profit. This one took 2.5 years. It is a Baltimore Colts band uniform. I want to say I paid about $50 for this. I remember paying up and it took forever, but I had it at, I want to say $350. I sent somebody an offer of $157. They messaged me, said, would I still take it? I said, yes. So about an $85 profit, but it took forever. So stuff like this, you really need the right person who wants a Baltimore Colts marching band uniform, right? There's not a ton of people looking for it. It did have some defects with it, but ended up being a good profit. It just took a very long time. So this is probably one, because I'm not overly interested in band uniforms, I would recommend skipping this one. Next up was an incredible sale. And this one only took a month and a half. So I love when the higher dollar stuff doesn't take that long. I paid $25 for this one. So it is $120 profit. Beautiful Navajo blue turquoise necklace with the Heshy beads. And here you can see triple stranded. This one is beautiful work. I love Heshy beads. So you can see the spacer beads here are Heshy, as well as the top of the necklace was also Heshy beads. And it did have the maker's mark on it. And it was an absolutely gorgeous necklace. Really fast sale and a great profit. Next up is one I went round and round with this buyer. This is a really rare Rich Lou piece and definitely a big statement one. And I had it at 300 and they wanted to give me 150. It has only been listed 3 months. I finally told them 200 and then they're like, with shipping. And I'm like, no, 200 plus shipping. I held my ground. It took them about a week to come back. They did come back. They bought it for 2. I paid 40 for this one. So this one is going to be, let's see, about $128 profit. Now, here's the thing. I didn't pay much, so why not? Did you see how big that was on my scale? This is like a runway piece. It is so big. And I'll show you it again on the scale. Look at this. This is probably 4 inches. This is an impressive necklace, and I knew it had the value, so I held my ground. Next up is a St. John knit blazer and jacket. This one sold for 50% off, sold for $200. I paid $20 for it, but it took over a year. So again, I showed you a St. John earlier in the video. This one's $144 profit. So typically with me, I buy low enough where even if I do half off, 90% of the time I am still making a profit. That is what's important to me. And this one, a $200 sale, it was in excellent condition and I still made a good profit even though it took a year. This is my highest sale for the last 2 weeks. It is a Christian Dior by Kramer. So great conjunction here. It took 50% off, $300. It took a year. I got this for about $40. So I still, even at half off, am making over $300 profit on this one. Or no, that I did my math wrong. Sorry. I am making, let's see, $208 profit. So excellent. It's a beautiful piece. This is honestly one of the most beautiful brooches I've seen. Here you can see the Christian Dior by Kramer, very clearly marked, beautiful blues and purples, and an excellent, excellent sale. All right, that was everything. I really hope you have enjoyed this. I appreciate you watching. Let me know if something caught you off guard. I love sharing my high dollar sales. That is definitely a goal for me, to get my average sales price up and just make my time more valuable. It's nice when you can do that all by yourself. I appreciate you watching. Please share with your friends if you think they would like. Hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit that boost or whatever the heck that button is. I don't remember what it's called. If you haven't hit it already, it will help me get seen more. I appreciate you so, so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.